Greetings, pokefans! Jonathan here, and I'm sure all of you know games. No doubt, you know what games is, right? You do not know games, then it means that you're not even born in this generation. In today's world, games has really been important. The main cure for boredom is mainly games. The only thing which you can just think of and you'll never get tired to think about is games, and whatever you feel is really nostalgic to play is games. Some games are really awesome to play, some games are really without any restrictions are really very cool to play. Some games are really as bad as a curse, but there are also some games which really reminds you of your childhood. Today we'll be counting down the list of all those games which according to me personally is the really best, and at the same time the games which the world really supports to be the best. Enjoy. For 10. Mario 16. Mario 16 is a game which was invented in the 1986, and though it's old doesn't explain that it is a really underrated game. Even now this game is said to be one of the most calming games and it's quite a lot nostalgic. Though the game is not available for the real console, for the NES, it actually can be played for your mobile phone, which is really easy. The graphics are really simple and you can really fight a dinosaur, and it's like a Jurassic World. Like there's nothing even better than this hack. Number 9. Beyblade G Revolution for the GBA console. This game is a really very old game. It is supposed to be one of the earliest game to be ever released for the GBA emulator by the Beyblade company. This game, though is very old, again does not explain why it can really be underrated. Even now this game is said to be really cool and it is quite a lot like Mario 16, but it has a better animation and you can really play Beyblade matches with your own friends and all that, and it's like you could, if you win, you get the Beyblade, which is a really cool idea. The game is old, but it's not that old for anybody else now. If you see, I have started also a Beyblade game and it's G Revolution, and if you have watched it, you know what it is like. Number 8. Dead Fox. Dead Fox is a game which is again very old, but it is not that old for now. It is like supposed to be one of the best shooting games and it doesn't really need a really high graphic phone. You can just use it for your Nokia 16 or something like that, and you don't even need to have a lot of things for it. Like even a broken phone can be really fit for this game, and what can be better than a shooting game which doesn't need a lot of graphic cards and all that. You don't really need an NES anymore, but the real true fact is that this game is really nostalgic to play since it allows you to shoot, get ammos, finish up missions, and it has a really cool story and no hands out of this game. Number 7. Bakugan Defenders of the Core. If you have all watched the anime of Bakugan, then you know what Bakugan is like. It is like you can throw Bakugan toys, which are not really toys, but they just blow up like a flower and then they turn into a dragon, which looks so cool. The same, there are a lot of games for it, but one of the games which is really cool and really nice for you to play is Bakugan Defenders of the Core. This game really doesn't need a big graphic card or something. You can just play it on your broken tab or a phone or something like that. In this game, the real true fact is that you can play yourself as a Bakugan. That is really cool. I never thought I could ever be a Bakugan, and That's why this game is really liked by a lot of people, and the true fact is that it's my favorite. Number 6, TMNT 2. This game was first released for the GBA emulator, and it is really a very nostalgic game ever today. In this game, you can act as any of the 4 Ninja Turtles, that is Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. The real interesting thing about this game is that you can play as on a story mode and also on a multiplayer mode, and at the same time you can also play off story modes. In this game there can be everything what you actually think about. You can just search on for weapons and then start fighting. This game has a really cool animation and at the same time good music. The story mode of this game is also nothing back. Number 5, Pokemon White. If you have ever known of what Pokemon is, and if you have ever played a Pokemon game, then you must have always wanted to play Pokemon White. Pokemon White is a really very cool game, and it's personally my favorite of all games. It's literally favorite of all games. It's no doubt that this game is ranking number 5. In this game, you can really act as Hilbert or Hilda, and you can move around in the story mode, catch Pokemons, which is quite obvious in the Pokemon game. You can also see that it has a really cool story mode, a good starting point, it has good animations, that is a good environment, and it has so nostalgic music. The music is one of the main reasons I play this game, and if you have ever played this game, you must have already known that yes, there is a good music and a good soundtrack, then you must play this game if you have not. Number 4, Ben 10 Protector of Earth. This game was first released for the PSP console and was really a well rated game. To see, you could play as Ben himself, you could change out to any alien you wanted, you had to go on to new levels, defeat bosses, and you could then win new moves, and it was a really cool game, and it mainly depicted on action, and if you really like action, then this is supposed to be one of the best games ever. And for the final 3 in this list, we have in the 3rd place Bakugan Battle Brawlers. This game, released for the NDS, is supposed to be one of the best strategical games to be ever released for the Bakugan franchise till date. In this game, you could make use of Bakugans itself, you could open them up, you can put them on a gate card, you can open up the gate card, you can use ability cards, you can play battles with Bakugans with different competitors, and what can be greater than that? This game follows the story mode of the anime itself, and if you were a fan of the anime, then you've got to love this game, and there's no hands off this game. In fact, this game is supposed to be one of my favorite of all games still. Number 2, Siphon Filter Dark Mirror. This game was released for the PSP emulator, and it is supposed to be one of the best actionary shooting games with a 3rd-person view. In fact, this game actually has a really cool story mode. It has a lot of guns and you have a lot of missions to complete, and that's really cool. You can play on the story mode itself, including the non-story mode game, which is creating your and fighting missions. You can get any of your favorite guns, and some guns are weak, some are strong, some are very very strong, and that's so cool. This game has a main character called Gabe Logan, and Gabe Logan is a really well designed character. The number 1 goes to Pokemon Black 2. If you have ever gone to an NDS or GBA emulator store and you have asked the owner of that shop that what is a very nice game to play, he must have always given you a Pokemon game, and if he had Pokemon Black 2 or White 2, he must have at least recommended you one of those games. That's because this game is supposed to be one of the world's most best rated games ever, where you can make use of strategical ways, including a very nice story with a good set of themes. In this game, you can play as your favorite character Nate and another female character. You can catch out Pokemons like any other Pokemon game. And what's great about this is that it really has a well developed map. That's why I call this game the best. But personally, it's not my best, but it still has a good rank in my favorite game list.